when it comes to communication in Liberia, orange is number one.
Orange is the best. Orange is the best. Oh, orange is the best.
Orange is the best.
Strongest network, widest coverage.
Orange is the best.
Fastest internet speed.
Orange is the best.
People, orange is the best. Yes, orange is the best.
Lama kitie na ratama pulizu wu. Company gini that's the boga orange. Top of number 1. So we need
Company is the orange. I don't got the best.
Orange will more you the telephone on.
Reliable, trusted, and dependable.
Orange is about 7.
Yeah, orange is raw.
Orange is the best.
It's all about what matters to you. Orange.
Orange.
Let me make sure I got all the sanitary items I need. I'm checking my list. Oh yes, one more item. Let me have a big bottle of Dettol, yeah, across the board.
Yes, the total amount is 3,000 LD.
Okay, let me give you your money. Hey, my people, I can't find my purse. Lola, I left it on my kitchen table. My husband is rushing me too much. What's I'll do now?
Don't worry, Costa Homo. You can pay with your phone. Yes, the code here on the wall.
Awesome. Yes, I do have money on my phone.
With Orange Money, making payments for goods at your favorite store with your merchant is as easy as ABC. Dial *144#, select currency, select Pay with Orange Money, and follow the instructions. With Orange Money, life is easier. No stress.
Orange.
From Dupotro, outside the nation's capital, Monrovia, welcome to News Desk, a 45-minute production from the News and Current Affairs Department of Renaissance Communications Incorporated. Today is Tuesday, October 31, 2023. I'm Augustine Saar presenting. And headlines, President George Weah re-echoed his government's commitment to ensuring that the pending presidential runoff election is free, fair, transparent, and peaceful, calls for more empowerment to the Liberian media. Liberian Senate closes for the November 14, 2023 presidential runoff election as Bombing County Senator Erin Snow maintains his support for President Weah re-election, contrary to report that he has withdrawn his support. An ally of President George Weah, Senator Milton Tieti of County pledges support to opposition Unity Party of Joseph Boakai, says President Weah lacks the leadership ability to govern the country for another 6 years. And off the home front, the BBC says protesters are calling for a ceasefire in Gaza, interrupts U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken during a Senate hearing on Tuesday. The details of these plus many more, the active voices of the newsmakers, the news bulletin, the passion of our sports, or anticipated on tonight's edition of the Program News Desk. We'll take a break to be back very shortly. A pleasant good evening, Hansen.
Good evening, Augustine. Good evening to all. President George Weah has re-echoed his government's commitment to ensuring that the pending presidential runoff election will be free, fair, transparent, and peaceful. The Liberian president, speaking at the 78th celebrations of the United Nations, pledged to continue to uphold the confidence reposed in him to guide the elections process. President Weah disclosed Liberia's commitment to the 2030 agenda, which is reflected within the Purple Agenda for Prosperity and Development, with major targets to include job creation, infrastructure development, industrialization, access to affordable health care and education, and the sustenance of peace and security. The Liberian leader further bragged about his government being keen on rural connectivity, free education, and health care delivery. According to him, his government has also taken care to ensure respect and protection of the rights of citizens, protection of human rights, freedom, and the ongoing fight against corruption. In another development, President George Weah has commended the Liberian media for keeping the strength and peace of the country throughout the elections. President Weah added by calling for more empowerment for the media in order to maintain its non-political posture. The Liberian Senate has closed for the November 14, 2023 runoff election. The Senate is expected to return November 21 following the conclusion of the presidential runoff election. Prior to the closure of the Senate, there was heated debate among members of the Liberian Senate and Deputy Finance Minister Samra Wolkoli for the delay in the payment of $200,000 to each county as social development funds. Appearing Tuesday before the full plenary of the Liberian Senate, Deputy Minister Wolkoli presented pieces of document to the plenary due to demands from the senators requesting the Finance Ministry to make available such document. Following the presentation of the documents by the Deputy Minister to the senators frowned at Wolkoli for presenting payment of the 2022 budget year instead of the 2023 budget year. Senators Snow, Jeevan Smith, and Zoe Pennant, among others, stated that the ministry must ensure that the money for the counties be provided. Sino County outgoing Senator Milton Tieti has endorsed the opposition Unity Party ahead of the November 14 presidential runoff. Tieti, a one-time strong supporter of President George Weah, said his decision is due to how the CDC party is ill prepared to lead for another 6 years. He said it is regrettable that the Weir-led government has not been able to allegedly demonstrate the willingness to fulfill promises made during the 2017 campaign. The Sando County Center disclosed that looking at the state of the country, of how it is being governed, it is prudent to make an informed decision in order to rescue what he called bad state under the Weir government. Senator Madam Diaje made the pronouncement Tuesday at his Capitol building office in Monrovia. In a recent interview with VOA Daybreak Africa, Nobel Peace Laureate Nema Gwui has expressed her concern about the behavior of certain Liberian politicians during this year's electoral season. She accused them of acting like what she described as clever devils. But we define a clever devil as an individual who, despite being highly educated, lacks character and conduct politics without adhering to principles or considering public interest. She went on to express her disappointment in the lack of character, integrity, and truth in the conversations and dealings of politicians with the Liberian people, particularly the country's youth who often look up to them. Her observations come at a critical juncture following the first round of the presidential elections held on October 10th, where losing candidates have begun endorsing either President George Weah of the ruling Coalition for Democratic Change or former Vice President Joseph Boycott of the United Party. These two candidates are set to contest in the presidential runoff election scheduled for the November 14th in Liberia. Birmingham County Senator Erin Snow has clarified that he has not party accompanied with the CDC despite information about his dissatisfaction with the ruling party. The clarification of Senator Snow comes following speculations that he is partying with the CDC because political commentator Henry Costa endorsing the re-election bid of President George Weah. When quizzed about his position about Henry Costa joining the CDC, Senator Snow noted that he could not comment on the matter. According to the Birmingham County Senator, he still remains supportive to the re-election bid of President George Weah and not the CDC. He noted that at no time he has been a member of the CDC. As such, he has the right to canvass for President George Weah and the party at any point in time. Meanwhile, Senator Edwin Snow has vowed to remain robust at the Liberian Senate on issues that interest the people of Liberia. Snow further raised concern about the $11 million United States dollars disbursed to the National Elections Commission for the electronic biometric process for the October 10th polls. The Birmingham County Senator added that there was no electronic biometric process carried out by the NEC, and as such, the amount should be accounted for. Opposition Unity Party vice presidential candidate has turned as a mere bluff about the CDC government alleged plan to rig the November 14th presidential runoff. Jeremiah Kuhn, who urged supporters to remain calm amidst ongoing campaign activities, assured his supporters of defeating the Weah government in the November 14th election. Kuhn said President Weah alleged inability to win with huge margin over the opposition Unity Party in the October 10th election proves how the CDC government has lost the trust of the Liberian people. The Unity Party vice presidential candidate also spoke of a new measure aimed at protecting UP votes during the runoff and thanked Liberians who are contributing to the party's ongoing campaign activities. The UP vice presidential candidate made a statement last evening when he appeared on the Spoon Talk program. Former Finance Minister Nathaniel Banks, who also served as Liberian ambassador to the United States, has declared that he would not be endorsing either of the two candidates in the upcoming presidential runoff scheduled for November 14, 2023. Ambassador Banks emphasized that his endorsement will be contingent on the choice of the Liberian people during the runoff election. He expressed awareness of the high expectations held by the Liberian people for the two candidates set to face off on November 14. The presidential runoff will feature incumbent President George Weah and former Vice President Joseph Boakai marking a second showdown between them. In the initial round of voting on October 10th, none of the two presidential candidates managed to secure the required majority of 50 plus 1 vote to be declared the winner. This led to the runoff election and the decision for whom to endorse, according to Dr. Barnes, will rest with the voters. The Liberian Joint Security in partnership with the Carter Center and the United States government has ended one-day public awareness on the advancement of the Liberian security sector. The partnership is aimed at achieving accountability and public trust through the country's security sector's complaints and commendation system. The one-day awareness brought together joint security officers of the Liberia Immigration Service, the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, cyclists, students, marketeers, religious leaders, among others. Speaking at the ceremony, Carter Center Senior Program Officer, Councillor Lamin Quagger, disclosed that the program initially started in 2021 with the Liberia National Police and has now expanded to other law enforcement agencies, including the Liberia Immigration Service and Drug Enforcement Agency. Quagger stressed that currently, with the help of partners, they have been able to set up complaints and commendation systems at both the Liberia Immigration Service and the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency and called on citizens to take advantage of the process. Also speaking, Joseph Hammond and Jeffrey DeLong of the Liberia Immigration Service and Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency outlined steps in filing complaints against law enforcement officers of both institutions. The law enforcement officers asserted that the app, when launched, will bring a broad-based system reforms at both agencies. Executives of victims of smart art have expressed disappointment in GSM companies in Liberia for allowing the company to use their platform and rob the Liberian people. Smart Art is a social media platform that was established in the country by unknown individuals doing business transactions online through the two GSM companies in Liberia. According to some of the victims who are part of a group under the partner, the voice of victims of Smart Art said the company came with the intent of doing business with the Liberian people through the two companies. Also speaking, Ambassador Bernard Asin Gayat also expressed frustration in national government for failing to intervene into the situation of thousands of Liberians that fall prey to the company corruption, which he said obtained all necessary documents from the Singh government. Gayat disclosed that during a conference held recently, Orange Liberia committed to paying the monies through a court process. The National Muslim Students Association of Liberia has issued a call to action for newly elected Muslim lawmakers, urging them to use their positions as a platform for fostering inclusive policies that will benefit all Liberians regardless of their religious beliefs or ethnicity. Several recently elected lawmakers who practice the Islamic faith have been encouraged by the association to engage with their federal legislators to create policies that promote unity and inclusivity. The association believes that these policies will contribute to the overall welfare of the nation. The Muslim lawmakers include Amara Konin, Senator-elect of Bapuru County, Musa Belde, represented District 4 in Nema County, Sekou Kano, represented District 2 in Mansurata County, Ricky Barry, represented District 1 in Mansurata County, Bintu Masaleh, represented District 1 in Grand Capan County, Mustafa Wariti, represented District 3 in Bapuru County, Muka Kamara represented District 14 in Montserrat County, and Mohammed Dosi represented District 2 in Grand Capon County. Sekou Soare, the Assistant Secretary General of the National Muslim Students Association, emphasized the importance of these Muslim lawmakers to uphold their commitment to advancing the well-being of the entire nation. And in foreign news, protesters calling for a ceasefire in Gaza interrupted U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken during a state hearing on Tuesday. Numerous people stood in the crowd and repeatedly yelled, "Ceasefire now." Secretary Blinken and U.S. Defense Secretary Lord Austin are testifying about the White House $106 billion national security funding request. It includes $14.3 billion to support Israel's military efforts against Hamas. Standing up one by one, protesters waited for Blinken to begin his testimony before shouting over him again. The Secretary of State paused and lawmakers were forced to suspend the hearing several times. Capitol Police quickly escorted the demonstrators from the room. Police say 12 people had been arrested for allegedly protesting inside the Deskin Senate office building. What Augustine, that's the news bulletin and the foreign development.
A regular feature of our news program. In one of our top stories we are following tonight, Liberians closes for the November 14, 2023 presidential runoff as Bome County Senator Snow maintains his support for President Weah re-election, contrary to reports that he has withdrawn his support. Let's now bring you this development. President George Weah has re-echoed his government's commitment to ensuring that the pending presidential runoff election will be free, fair, transparent, and peaceful. The Liberian president, speaking at the 78th celebrations of the United Nations, pledged to continue to uphold the confidence reposed in him to guide the election process. President Weah disclosed Liberia's commitment to the 2030 agenda, which is reflected within the proposed agenda for prosperity and development. To this development, Sano County outgoing Senator Milton Tietche has endorsed the opposition Unity Party of Ambassador Joseph Wakai. Tietche, a one-time strong supporter of President George Weah, said his decision is due to how the CDC party is ill-prepared to lead for another 6 years. He spoke at his Capitol building office in Monrovia.
After contributing to President Weah's development agenda in the legislature and observing the initial results of the 2023 elections, it is abundantly clear that the Coalition for Democratic Change is ill prepared to lead for the next 6 years. So, mark this clear, the Congress of Democratic Change or Coalition for Democratic Change has not demonstrated a willingness to have was entrusted with to lead our country. It is disheartening to witness the government that rose on a populist platform, lacking the trust, credibility, and the ability to bring together national political leaders to stabilize this beloved country of ours. Instead, we have witnessed the marginalization and alienation of the political class, often encouraging chaos and in some instances, even being linked to the troubling tragic murders of individuals who refuse to submit to the whims and caprices of the Weah administration. Reflecting on the wisdom imparted to me during my political apprenticeship under the late struggle icons Gabriel Bacchus Matthews hostile, I will consider it a political betrayal to abandon the values of multi-party democracy, social justice, and economic freedom for the people of Liberia. In these trying times, when our people are facing complex socio-economic challenges, for our people expect us to speak out and provide guidance in selecting leaders based on competence, experience, and a genuine commitment to serving and protecting the well-being of the people of this country. Hospitals lack essential medication. Our schools lack business supplies. Some high schools have high school graduates as their principals. As we approach the November 14th runoff session, we have arrived at the conclusion of officially, unconditionally endorsing Ambassador Joseph Newman Boakai, the standard bearer of the Unity Party for the presidency of Liberia.
His outgoing Sano County Senator Milton T.A.J. Opposition Unity Party vice presidential candidate has turned as a mere bluff by the CDC government alleged plan to raid the November 14 presidential runoff. Jeremiah Kwon, who urged supporters to remain kind amidst ongoing campaign activities, assured his supporters of defeating the WEA government in the November 14 election.
I also want to say to people who don't believe that God is watching, $0, nothing. We are able to get this government 43, in our normal. They got to be God watching. I mean, with all the resources at their disposal, they got all the government officials and everybody pumping all that they can pump. As popular as the president we should be, and we are 43, the tell you God is working. And we are going to defeat president. We are on the 14th for the results count. We know president we are supposed to be a peaceful person. We are calling on him after defeat. Accept the result. You stay young, you can come back 2029. But at this point, the grandpa will be speaking and you're going to be listening to them. To our fellow rescuers, they do not have the capacity to bring this election. That's all talk, all the hearing of law. They do not have the capacity to. When you hear all the talk, those are all psychological, political warfare, with the carry machine, getting the printing card, the print thing. It's all intended to discourage you and say, they're finished cheating already. Those are all psychological, political warfare. Don't listen to them. They don't have the capacity. If they had it, they could have done it in the first round because they print that t-shirt all for one round victory. Because they don't have it, we are here today. And we'll beat them. It can be a show your vote will be protected. I also want to say thanks to all of you contributing tonight. I want to say thanks to all of our supporters and partisans. I also want to leave you with these few words. It's not everyone you respond to. At every level, there's a new devil. You got to keep your eye on the ball. Keep focused. All these things are distraction. And so I'm calling all the rescuers, don't respond to certain people. Only two people can make confusion. When Jeremy came and stayed in King of Canada, say we agree. And so we started to agree already to let them agree. So please, all of you that are supporting President Waga character, you not a confusion. You don't insult people. You don't go after people. And so if you follow such a leader, you have to adapt such attitude.
His Unity Party Vice Presidential Candidate, Senator Jeremiah Kwon. Bomi County Senator Adam Snow has clarified that he has not parted company with the CDC despite information about his dissatisfaction with the ruling party. The clarification of Senator Snow comes following speculations that he's parting ways with the CDC because of political commentator Henry Costa endorsing the re-election bid of President George Weah. When questioned about his position about Henry Costa joining the CDC, Senator Snow noted that he could not comment on the matter.
In the last 24 hours, about a text message people to include that they tightly on rumors that appears to appear in the Liberian media yesterday. On my own as an adult, I decided to support the re-election bid of President Weah. And in my declaration supporting Mr. Weah, there were no preconditions set. I have my own reasons why I'm supporting him. Those reasons still remain, and there are no preconditions. So whoever Mr. Weah chooses to put on his cabinet team, it's not my prerogative to decide or to take to the cabinet. There may be others as well in the CDC or other places that may have problems with it too, and I wouldn't expect them to leave because I'm I may have an option if the information or speculation is right. Maybe if there's someone in the campaign that I feel should not be in the same room, then I will excuse them. But that will not make me to jump ship or to remove myself from Sylvia's campaign. I still enjoy the confidence of the president. I'm still a member of his campaign team, and I'll still be actively involved with his re-election bid. During the hearing, there were a lot of calls coming because of the same room. And I was playing a very active role in that public hearing as regards the Buwani agreement. So it was only right that I'm attending the public hearing that I had interest in to switch off my phone. The president asked me regularly. We spoke yesterday, we spoke this morning, we had breakfast, we spoke this afternoon just now. So the president and I have a very good relationship, very, very good relationship. And there's nothing at all, there's no beef between the president and nor between any member of the campaign team. If I so desire not to sit in the same room with any particular person that has joined or that will join the campaign team, it's my prerogative.
His Bombing County Senator Erin Nevin Snow. Former Finance Minister Nathaniel Bannis, who also served as Liberian ambassador to the United States, has declared that he will not be endorsing either of the two candidates in the upcoming presidential runoff scheduled for November 14, 2023. Ambassador Bannis emphasized that his endorsement will be contingent on the choice of the Liberian people during the runoff election.
You know, when I made the determination, I publicly said that I was stepping away from the presidency, my aspiration for the presidency. I also stated that I would like to present myself as an elderly statesman, the voice of reason. So right now, my endorsement is for the people that are here. I am endorsing the desires and wishes of the people that are here. Okay. I am an advocate of Liberians. So my loyalty, my endorsement at this point, as we speak, is to Liberia. I'm hoping that I can serve as that voice of reason, where young people that in the sound of my voice, first time voters thinking about the bucket that comes substance. Okay, what's most important for me and my future? What's most important for Liberia? So we'll see. We still have another couple of weeks to go through this process, but at this point in time, my endorsement is for that. In a way, I'm saying that we need to refocus on what the desires of Liberians are. Okay, we are turning a curve. Okay, and we still don't know what's on the other side of the curve that we cannot see yet. Okay, but because we don't know, we need to prepare ourselves for what's there. The only way you prepare yourself is by making good, solid decisions. Okay, and Nathaniel Barnes, private citizen, saying I support it, but to me, what I support, okay, is governance and leadership that's in the best interest of that poor woman up there, way in Wozi or Tapeta or wherever, Dabo or wherever, who has a desire for her kids to go to school.
He is former Finance Minister Nathaniel Bannis, speaking to the media. Wherever you're just joining, you're listening to the Tuesday, October 31, 2023 edition of the program News Desk. It is a 45-minute production of news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. The top stories we are following tonight, President George Weah re-echoed his government's commitment to ensuring that the pending presidential runoff election is free, fair, transparent, and peaceful, calls for more empowerment to the Liberian media. Liberian Senate closes for the November 14, 2023 presidential runoff, as Bombing County Senator Erin Snow maintains his support for President Weah re-election, contrary to reports that he has withdrawn his support. An ally of President George Weah, Senator Milton Tieti of Sano County, pledges support to opposition United Party of Joseph Boakai, says President Weah lacks the leadership ability to govern the country for another 6 years. And off the home front, the BBC says protesters are calling for a ceasefire in Gaza, interrupts U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken during a Senate hearing on Tuesday. Today's development in a recent interview with VOA Daybreak Africa, Nobel Peace Laureate Mabui has expressed her concerns about the behavior of certain Liberian politicians during this year's electoral season. She accused them of acting like what she described as clever We defined a clever as an individual who, despite being highly educated, lacks character and conduct politics without adhering to principles or considering public interest.
Well, if you look at the definition of Nigeria, clever devils, is basically when people have meditation without character, it creates clever devils. Look around our country today to see what we have. One minute Peter is saying, oh, this is what is good, the next minute we're flip-flopping, and the rest of the population sitting and watching and seeing all these super leaders. And I put the leaders in quotes because true leaders will never do some of the things that we're seeing. No integrity, truth is far from everything. It's like someone says, if I have to walk over my mother to get to where I need to get to, I will do that. No compassion for the ordinary people. It's just really sad, not just sad. For me personally, is disgusting and sickening to watch.
You said politics without principles. Isn't that the mere definition of the word itself, politics?
Well, it's true, but I don't think we should continue to think that politics should be dirty. Politics should be without character, integrity, without truth. I mean, when we talk about politics, it's to establish a order where everyone can at least find dignity in their life. And I'm not saying in different parts of the world that it is clean, but in our part of the world, it's just disgusting. I mean, it's just very, very sad, Mr. Borden, when you think about the way Liberians have been tossed back and forth here, there, everywhere. Like, the people will say strange bedfellows. One minute we are friends, the next minute we're enemies. And so who do you believe? What do you believe? What are those values that people are putting out there? Where are your principles? Politics is not about losing yourself, you know?
Can we say that this is symptomatic of the economy of the country, where people will go with anything that satisfy their economic needs?
Yes, economic plays a role, but education plays a major role. Most times, I definitely believe that our leaders keep people in these wretchedful conditions because they want to exploit it in times like this. And I think it is time for us to begin to educate the young people, the general public, our future generation, that voting is just one day, and the rest of the time we live with the consequences of our vote.
She's Nobel Peace Laureate Lehman Bowie, speaking with the VOA. The Liberian Senate has closed for the November 14, 2023 runoff election. The Senate is expected to resume on 21st November following the conclusion of the presidential runoff. Prior to the closure of the Senate, there was heated debate among members of the Senate and Deputy Finance Minister Samura Wolokoli for delaying the payment of 200,000 United States dollars to each county as social development funds. Senators Aaron Snow, Jivan Smith, and Zoe Penner, among others, stated that the ministry must ensure that the money for the counties be provided. And to this development, members of Used Motorbikes Business Incorporation have threatened to boycott the November 14 runoff elections if the government fails to address their plights. Executives of the organization told reporters that over 7 motorbikes were forcefully taken away from then on 4th September 2023 at their Parker Paint headquarters at the LNP by LNP officers assigned at Zone 9 base station in Jacobtown. Speaking on behalf of the group, Daniel Tamba noted that they have made efforts in retrieving the bags, but were requested by LNP officers to pay 200 United States dollars.
September 4th, 2023, the commander for Zone authorized police officer, they came to pick up, took away our motorbike, 8 pieces. They still having a bag in their possession. Didn't carry their complete to Central Professional Center. Up to now, we are not yet any results. When we went to Queensgate Town Hall, they took our bag out. We went to Town Hall. We said I had sent for the police to come so that they can turn our back over. But up to now, we went to the town hall. People said I should come to the police station to now this. When they're up to now, we now receive our back. So even someone, the police director of party, up to now, not in there 10, people refuse to come to the court. We don't even know them. This war, they are judge of opinion up to now. Our back. Any point from them. This is their second time. For the first time, you have to give them 13,000 to pay our back. Yes. So for the second time, after the fee arrest our Moruba, they said that you should give them $200. We said no. This why you should continue. They will continue with this. They will feel that we are there by story Moruba. Telling them the other people. So we have a grab the people there. We need to give them the money. When we get their computer, central, the provision center. Don't understand how we went to please them my insurance court. The court order them to come. But up to now, I don't want to attempt to I started my business in 2016. Use Moruba. Sometimes put them in their back. Oh my brother, I will ask you, oh my brother, when you get a record document, if you give me a document, sometimes I will check on it. What is your name? They say about it back. Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no. Okay, what the boss me for this Moruba? You understand? If we call the boss me, the boss me will come. Sometimes they say, oh, I gave you the boy, I will set it back. But sometimes all of them say back, they go for document or for play document. So sometimes they will pick it and say they want to share it. Sometimes we can go there, we can arrest them, we can go ask the commander that tell you, even the people that tell you about us. Even so, example, they are also aware about this.
Meanwhile, the president of the Used Motorbikes Business Incorporation in Liberia, Richard Benefit, disclosed that the organization is duly registered with government and is a legitimate taxpayer.
Richard K. Ghana, president of the Used Motorbikes Business Incorporation. The business is registered by the government, and for doing the business, we get a private tour. Our president did a private tour. I went Kantor, I went Baka, I went Baki, I went Bong, I went Ground Passer to do legal business. When I get there, I deal with the dealer of the back. You back, I'm home to the right, home idea. I asked him, sir, can you help me? I want to know the original document that tomorrow, if I see someone forging the document, I'll tell you for free. This thing right here, you call the counter, you call for any of the stuff within the counter, they will relay for us. That's the thing we are doing. But to our utmost surprise, from the self-police office, I'm very sorry to speak this, but the very extent of the people that have been addressing this crime. But what going on now, I would say there's no justice for the poor. And I ask the government to give us justice. Justice, we are talking about that. We need justice. We are justice to go on one page, right? So that's fine. That would be a chaos. That would be a chaos for us. You know what I mean? Police chapter, free paper, Pakistan, Africa will chaos. Africa will chaos. And then when we get there, they request for $200 for us. My brother, let me free up ourselves like where you're asking no pressing. So looking for your survival, look for you to grapple with life. Don't be suppressed by the national police. Not be suppressed by them. So any other way they come, we don't want justice. We need justice. But on the president, no, we voted him. Shout out the computer. They're voting him. So what only as the people citizen of the period to look in the case and come up with final judgment.
It's Richard Garnett, added on. You listen to the voice of Daniel Tamba. On that note, that's how we'll have to leave you on this Tuesday, October 31, 2023 edition of the program News Desk. A production of news from Liberia, Africa, in our one word. Just before we leave you, let's remind you of the top stories we closely followed tonight. President George Weah re-echoed his government's commitment to ensuring that the pending presidential runoff election is free, fair, transparent, and peaceful, calls for more empowerment to the Liberian media. Liberian Senate closes for the November 14th, 2023 runoff election as Bomi County Senator Aaron Snow maintains his support for President Weah re-election, contrary to reports that he has withdrawn his support. An ally of President George Weah, Senator Milton Tietie of Sano County, pledged his support to opposition United Party of Joseph Wakai, says President Weah lacks the leadership ability to govern the country for another 6 years. And away from home, the BBC says protesters are calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. He interrupted U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken during a Senate hearing on Tuesday. We'd love to say thanks to you for your listening role. Thanks to all of our reporters, correspondents, and contributors for making this edition a success. Thanks as well to our affiliate radio stations for reading our news. Johnson Batoma and Salah Control and coordinated the sounds aspect. Henson Decker read for you the news bulletin. We'll have to apologize that we could not bring you sports right here on our news program. The name is Augustine Cypress. presented. Thanks for listening. Do have a pleasant night.
When it comes to communication in Liberia, Orange is number one.
Orange is the best. Orange is the best. Oh, Orange is the best.
Orange is the best.
Strongest network, widest coverage,
Orange is the best.
fastest internet speed.
Orange is the best.
People, Orange is the best. Yes, Orange is the best.
Company that's a orange. Top of number one.
Company is the orange. I don't got the best.
Orange will make you the telephone on phone.
Reliable, trusted, and dependable.
Orange is about 7. Yeah, orange is
Orange is the best.
It's all about what matters to you. Orange.
Orange.
Let me make sure I got all the sanitary items I need. I'm checking my list. Oh yes, one more item. Let me have a big bottle of Dettol, yeah, across the board.
Yes, it. The total amount is 3,000 LD.
Okay, let me give you your money. Hey, my people, I can't find my purse. Lola, I left it on my kitchen table. My husband are rushing me too much. What's I'll do now?
Don't worry, Costa Woman. You can pay with your phone. Yes, the code here on the wall.
Awesome. Yes, I do have money on my phone.
With Orange Money, making payments for goods at your favorite store with your merchant is as easy as ABC. Dial *144#, select currency, select pay with Orange Money, and follow the instructions. With Orange Money, life is easier. No stress.